Hello everyone and welcome to my shower. If you're wondering, what is she doing in there? I'm going to tell you. I'm constantly harping on everybody about proper shampooing techniques and product waste. So today I'm going to do a tutorial and show you how I wash my hair and all of my clients' hair so you have a visual idea of what I'm talking about. If you don't know me, my name is Hallie, also known as the Highlighted Pinup if you're coming from TikTok. So hang tight and I'm going to go through some steps for you guys so you can have the best success possible when shampooing your own hair. So the first thing that's of really big importance is to brush it out. So it's dry, I'm letting it down from my pony. And as you can tell, there's a lot of product in here. I think this is day 6 for me. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brush it out. And whenever you're brushing your hair, regardless, you're going to start from the bottom and work your way up. So that way, if you do have a tangle or not, you break it up before you pull it all the way down and put all that tension on it. One of the reasons I'm doing this is to make sure that any product that's kind of solidified gets broken up, which will make it easier to get rid of during the rinsing phase. So yeah, my hair is pretty long. So here's the thing also for you guys to know. Right now, because I've got texturizing spray and dry shampoos and pomades and Lotta Body, my hair looks really full and thick, and in reality it's super fine and thin. So kind of show you how that product plays the trick of it. So for all those people who are saying they have really fine hair, this is how the densifiers I talk about work to fill in that cuticle and make it look like you have a lot more. The first thing that I always do as an instruction to everyone is to rinse their hair really well. This will help get rid of anything that's water soluble that can just be dissolved in water, so you're using less shampoo, and any other debris that just isn't stuck into the hair, so that way you always save your product. The goal here is to rinse for 30 seconds to a minute or until your hair is completely sopping wet. Now that I'm halfway to being a mess, we can start adding shampoo. Everything is rinsed pretty much for my hair and it feels actually really clean already. If I wasn't doing this tutorial, I might have just rinsed it and gone an extra day or two. So again, when you start getting on the washing cycle and you regulate your sebaceous glands, it's not so awful. So my product of choice today is Kerastase. This is the Reflection. This is a color shampoo, so it helps kind of lock and hold everything in. It's not going to work incredibly well on my blue, just simply because it's a fashion color and they really don't do well with any sort of washing. Some colors are better than others, but ultimately they all fade. So this is a 8.5 fluid ounces, which is about 1/4 of a liter. A bottle this big will usually take me around 4 to 5 months to go through, which is really good. That's the goal. It retails for $34 if anyone was curious. So I know it's a little expensive, but if it lasts you for a long time and it's quality, then it's a product to go to. So to start it off, I always say start with the amount of 1/4. My hair, I just usually don't need that much. So I'm actually going to start it off with the size of about, let's say, a nickel. And then what I'm going to do is emulsify it really well. So get it all sudsy. And then I'm going to place it into the hair. And then I'm going to just start my scrub right at the scalp. Now, it's not lathering a whole lot right off the bat, which is to be expected because it's real dirty. So I'm going to work this one in first. And then before I decide to add more shampoo, I'm going to add a little bit more water. And the reason I'm doing that is because shampoo needs water to lather. So as you can see, still super dirty, no suds. So instead of starting to just dump all the shampoo in my hand, I'm just going to add, again, a little bit more. This time, still the same amount as the nickel. Going to lather. And then going to apply. And I can already feel it getting sudsier, so that's good. I was wearing it in a pony all day, so spots that I'm going to really look for are where it was stuck right next to this occipital bone in the back. And I can tell, so around my sides, I'm getting really good. And through the back, not so much. So again, add more water. You're going to always add more water before more shampoo, just to give your shampoo a chance to work. And I know this seems like a really tedious step or to go back and forth, but it ultimately ends up saving you so much product, so it's usually worth it. It's gonna look like a blue crime scene, and there we go, third time's the charm. I'm getting lather. So your hair doesn't have to have a super high amount of lather in order to consider it clean. I know a lot of people are really, really used to things that are super sudsy. And what I'm doing when I'm doing this is one of those. So the lather only takes care of the ends. You're not doing any of these. You're not doing any of those. When you do that, it gives unnecessary roughness to the cuticle and can result in a lot of frizziness, extra drying, and breaking. So I'm feeling for it, and right now, I would say it's pretty good. And like I said, as you can tell, it's not super, super foamy, but I have foam on my hands, which tells me that it is breaking through any product that I do have. So I know that most of the foreign particles are gone, and I don't have to worry about it. So what I will do now is a complete rinse. And then if I feel the need to shampoo more, I will after this. All right, so I just finished rinsing and I think it's good. Feels clean. It's not super squeaky clean, which is something that I think everyone's really accustomed to, is that really squeaky clean. I don't do that. For one, it's not necessary. I still want some natural oil left in the hair, but going through it, I can feel my scalp. My hair is moving really easily, so I'm not worried about anything like that. And the other thing I'm checking for when I do things like this is to make sure there's no area that's still sudsing, because if it is, it has to be rinsed longer. You want to make sure that all of your shampoo is out of the hair. So then before I apply conditioner, I'm going to wring it out. So that way the conditioner has the best chance possible to absorb. So again, using the Kerastase conditioner, I now took about that much. So kind of the size of a grape. Again, I'm going to emulsify it. I'm going to start from the ends down. And then I'm going to work it up. I don't have a huge problem being oily anymore. So I put it in through the scalp. I just make sure to start on the ends so the concentration isn't just globbed up on top. And anytime you get a snag like that, don't Hulk smash through it. Take a time out, pause, and pull it apart. And the whole point with this is to make sure that you're not putting too much tension on the hair. If you're curly, this is a good time to take your wide tooth comb and go through it. I've got these claws and I don't really feel that's necessary, especially my hair is just way too fine really to support that. I don't need it. So here, I'm going to let it sit. I'm kind of feeling for it. What I want is to make sure that all the strands feel super coated. Everything feels pretty uniform with the slip. It's feeling good. Get this bang area because this is fried. Yeah, I do this like once a week. So I just like hang out, play with my hair. And if you guys haven't been noticing, I'm shedding quite a bit. And the reason why is because I haven't washed it in a long time. So although I brush it a lot, all those trapped little hairs don't have anywhere to go. So once I wash and condition it, that's their time to shed all the way out. So I'm not alarmed. It seems like a lot, but it's really not too bad. And now we get to rinse. So if you haven't heard me say this before, your goal when rinsing is to rinse 90 to 95% out, leaving 5 to 10% in the hair for slip, depending on how thick your hair is. Thicker hair needs a little bit more slip, finer hair, a little less. And that's about all my hair needs to rinse. So what I'm going to feel for is some slip, which it totally does, but it doesn't feel heavy or weighted. It seems pretty much off my scalp, hence why when I was rinsing, I was doing one of these. And I think that's about it. So then when you go to dry, a big one, ignore my bleached out favorite towel that I own. You really just want to start blotting it. So that's the whole thing. You just keep blotting until a lot of that excess moisture gets out. So again, you're not doing this or one of these or anything like that. If you're a curly girl method and you like to plop, this is now the time. Old t-shirts really work really well for this technique as well. So it's really just a preference on that point on what type of material you want to use. But just make sure you're being nice and gentle and just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze instead of doing anything super aggressive. And that's how you wash your hair. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. These are my tips and tricks. They usually help keep your hair from breaking, from being wet. It's really nice to it. It's one of those things. And ultimately, I barely made a dent in my brand new bottle. So you'll end up using less product if you practice proper shampooing and conditioning techniques, and your hair will thank you. So thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have a hairstylist that you love or find one, listen to them, let them guide you. If you have any more questions, leave them here or on TikTok. And as always, I will do my best to find them and then do my best to answer them. Bye.